Up, street, up, street, up, street. We give both of them a courtesy. Allez, 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 allez. Up, street, up, street, up, street. Up streets! 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 What's up, boys?
Hey, Kevy. What's up, Boogs?
California, so.
Yes.
Tobias Bjork of Sweden, Mads Fransen of Denmark, the referees on this Day 9 matchup between the two undefeated teams in Group B, 4-0 Canada and 4-0 Switzerland. The Swiss have won all 4 of their games in regulation. Canada has 3 regulation wins and 1 shootout victory over Slovakia. Andre Tournier's team is coming up a 5-1 win over Kazakhstan on Wednesday. A couple of days off for this one. Swiss under Patrick Fischer in Slovakia 4-2 on Thursday. That game was tied 2-2 in the third when they blew it open. The first 2 goals allowed by the Swiss in this tournament. They've outscored their opposition 19-2 so far in the tournament. Fischer, the 7-time head coach of the Swiss national team, played for them in 6 World Championships and 2 Olympic Games.
Both teams know this is the matchup. These have been the 2 best teams in this group. There's a real advantage to finishing first, and whoever wins this game has an inside track on the first spot.
Samuel Montembeault, the 26-year-old from Bécancour, Quebec, gets a start for Canada. Sports a .979 save percentage, a 2-0 record. Leonardo Giannoni is playing in his 9th World Championship for the Swiss. Has a .923 save percentage in his career in the tournament. He's 2-0 and has not yet allowed a goal. And away we go. Canada, as the home team, has the last change here. The Swiss bolstered by the additions of Kevin Fiala, number 21, reaching for it, along with Nico Hischier and Jonas Siegenthaler from the New Jersey Devils.
And right away, you get a sense they want Scott Lawton going up against this stacked first line for Switzerland.
In comes Fiala. Walks in and shoots. Saved by Montembeault. Picked back up by Siegenthaler, who scored his first game after arriving in the tournament. Hischier spins back. Taken out there by Pierre-Olivier Joseph. And is brought up by Lawton of the Philadelphia Flyers. Lawton gains center ice and lifts that down on Giannoni. Lead pass for Corby that's broken up. Back the other way is Adam Fantilli busting in. Fantilli moves in. Slides it back across. That's knocked away. A penalty coming to Switzerland. That puck was taken off the line by Switzerland's Jonas Moser, but a hooking call coming to the Swiss, and Canada gets an early power play.
Good jump from Adam Fantilli, who has bounced around the lineup. He's playing with Tyler Toffoli, Cody Glass in the scoring line. He tries to drop this one back to Toffoli drive in the net, but at that point, Glauser has a hook into the hands, absolutely can opener. And Canada goes to the early power play. Not been an area of strength for Team Canada so far in the tournament. There's 2 power play goals
on 13
attempts.
Just the 9th time the Swiss have been short-handed so far in the tournament.
You don't take penalties when you have the puck most of the time, which they have had up to this point, playing the...
Faceoff was won by Tanner Richard, the #1 faceoff man in the tournament. And the Scott Lawton is 3rd in faceoff percentage. As Fantilli drops it off to Lawton. Milan Lucic and Mackenzie Weegar have the power play goals for Canada. Weegar is #2 in tournament points behind Dominik Kubalik of Czechia. And this is a house packed with Swiss fans. Rink wide, Fantilli looks across for Toffoli. Toffoli back for Fantilli, shoots, he fired that wide, and Toffoli can't hold it.
He's looking for Quinn's stick on a slap pass through the seam.
Swiss fans were arriving in droves on flights here yesterday and this morning. Brought up by Peyton Krabs. Rink wide he goes for Michael Carconi, who turned 27 yesterday. Carconi bats at that. And now brought back by Dario Simeone, short-handed. Simeone, along with Bruce Herzog, and Simeone peels back with that. Dean Kuka.
The crowd reacting with every successive penalty-killing pass as they rise to a crescendo as Switzerland kills off some valuable seconds. And there you're gonna see Fantilli's gonna get this puck. He's looking for the sticks of either Quinn or Lawton. And he just gets it through the legs of Scott Lawton. He knows what he's trying to do there. He's trying to get his stick in an awkward spot just to get a piece. The other thing you can do there, if you have time to think about it, just leave your skate. You can bank that in off your skate without kicking it. don't have to even bother getting your stick on it.
40 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. Switzerland had a great round robin last year, went 6-0-1, but then went into Jeremy Swayman in goal for the U.S. and lost 3-0 in the quarters. Here's Hischier with it. Finalist for the Selke Trophy is the defensive forward in the league. A long shot, Montembeault to save. Great year for Nico Hischier in New Jersey. A career high 31 goals. Glass plays that back, it bounces away. And Hunt has it back for Canada. Laid down the ice by Tanner Richard. And back to pick it up is Ethan Bear. Down to the Swiss zone by Justin Barron on defense. This is Lucic, Blais, and Veleno, the forward line for Canada that has remained untouched so far in the tournament. All the other lines have been juggled at some point. Not this one. Veleno tries to knock that out. And here's Lucic with it. Scored his first goal in a Canadian uniform in this tournament against Slovenia. Lucic runs in and shoots. And Giannone makes the stop on that.
It's interesting how strange combinations work. You never would have thought that Lucic, the veteran, playing with Blais and Veleno would make sense, but they have been good on the forecheck. That's where they've done most of their damage. And we know what Milan Lucic can do when he arrives at the scene. He still is one of the strongest players in the NHL, certainly in this tournament as well.
He tends to arrive in ill humor as well.
His reputation has preceded him overseas as he gets a wide berth after the whistle in this tournament.
Jack McBain for the face-off against Hischier. First overall pick in the 2017 NHL draft. Highest drafted player in the tournament. That pass misses Malgin. Myers goes back. Icing waved off as Malgin is shoved off the puck by Myers. Carcone high in the air to center ice. Kicked ahead by McBain and back down to the Swiss zone. Siegenthaler up for Malgin. Swiss have silver medals in 2013 and 2018. They're only 2 medals in the last 60 years at the World Championship. They've posted some good results of late, but haven't had a lot to show for it in the medal round. They made the quarterfinals 5 straight times. Niederreiter filled in there by Fantilli. Picked up by Cody Glass, slides that back. Uyghur tees it up and shoots off the end of Giannone's glove. Niederreiter, the Swiss captain, tied up in the corner by Fantilli. And Fantilli tries to work that free. It's scooped up and brought out by Andrea Glauser. Jake Middleton chips out ahead. Fantilli got knocked off the puck. Middleton has not been on the ice for an even strength goal against for Canada. He and Pierre-Olivier Joseph share that distinction.
They've only given up 4 goals in 4 games, so.
Lawton winds in. A little backhand shot stopped. Here's Hunt. Brad Hunt tees it up and shoots. He whistled that just wide. Hunt can really fire it. Ethan Bear plays it back in. For the first time really since the 2019 World Championship in Slovakia, we're getting the full effect of fans. The 2020 tournament was canceled. 2021 was played here with limited spectators. Last year, there were still travel limitations on. That's the reason that Tampere, Finland, and Riga had a second chance to host in such a short time.
The fans have made this tournament even better than it otherwise would be.
Every section here today looks like a Swiss team picture.
It's brilliant, and you love it. If you play for Canada, you love it just the same.
The players still raving when their opening game against Latvia.
You want the noise, you want the energy, you want the whistles, you want all of it, and you want to shut them up if you're playing for Canada.
For the last 8 meetings of the World Championship between these two have gone to overtime. Pierre-Olivier Joseph back on Tyler Myers. Poke check there by Miranda. Marco Miranda, who plays for Geneva in the Swiss League, who won the Swiss Championship for the first time in their history. That's a long history. They're the oldest team in that league, founded in 1905. Damien Riat drops it across. Siegenthaler shoots. That's kicked out by Montembeault. And Veleno plays that to the line, but not out. Bounces back to Myers. And a Swiss champ goes up again. Joseph for Lucic, but the play's offside at the Swiss line. No score in the first period of the 2023 World Hockey Championship. No score here in Riga, Latvia, and Tampere, Finland. It's 1-1 between Finland and Austria. Finns scored a minute and 19 seconds in on a goal by Kasperi Kapanen, but Austria has bounced back to tie that game up. Finns are off to a sporadic start this World Championship. Bertri shoots, and Montembeault knocks that away. Carcone on it. Got it back up to center ice. Michael Carcone led the American League in scoring this year in points, and is an unrestricted free agent this summer. Played a handful of games for Arizona, scored a couple of goals in 9 games.
It's not hurting his cause at all in this tournament. If I'm an NHL team and can sign him for nothing other than the contract, I'd take a shot at it.
A big scorer going back to his days in junior, scored 47 goals his last year in Drummondville in the Quebec League.
A guy who looks like he can skate and check a little bit as well to go along with that scoring touch.
He's played in all situations for Canada so far. Malkin works in, poke check there by Middleton. Up ahead for Quinn. Jack Quinn of the Buffalo Sabres plays that in, knocked away by Giannoni. Centering pass for Krause. Lawson Krause couldn't get a shot away. There's Lawton back on it. Scott Lawton back at the point. Vigorous shot, a rocket that goes high. Middleton kept it alive for a moment. Romain Loeffel. Up ahead for Fiala. Chip set up for Christian Marty. That long shot knocked away by Montembeault. Malkin picks it free. Malkin spins and shoots, and Montembeault knocks that away with a blocker. Krause up ahead for Quinn, and Jack Quinn plays that back out. Canada changing. Hischier pokes it ahead for Fiala. Arranging off the bench was the quick Pierre-Olivier Joseph. And Joseph jumps into the rush. In comes Joseph, gets a step, shoots from a sharp angle. Giannoni makes the stop. Adam Fantilli back on it. One of 5 players in this tournament who played in the World Junior Championship in Halifax and Moncton as well.
And we saw Fantilli play better in the juniors against the better teams when it mattered most. And we'll see the same now for Canada as they get to the meat of the tournament.
There's a gold medalist for Canada in that tournament. And will go very early in the upcoming NHL draft after winning the Hobie Baker as the top player in college hockey, the top freshman as well. A brilliant year for him. And it's not over yet. Jonas Siegenthaler. Bats that back ahead. Veleno chips it back to Sammy Blais. Cross he goes to Hunt. And Hunt gains center ice and flips that down to the Swiss zone. Shots are 6-3 Switzerland in a scoreless first period. Back goes Baron Fort, the Halifax native. Picks up the loose puck and leaves it there for Hunt. Off the sideboards to Blais, quickly ahead for Lucic. And Milan Lucic moves in, rumbles in on Fora and fills him into the corner. Fora saw that coming, but not much he could do. Miranda drops it off to Simeon. Fora, the trailer, works back in and shoots. It goes off the foot of Middleton. That hobbled him a little bit. Veleno back the other way. In comes Joe Veleno. Gets a step on Moser and falls. And the puck goes free in the corner. Yanis Moser, the Arizona Coyotes, rode Veleno off the puck there, and now Gaetan Haas brings it back the other way. He lost it to Carcone. Lead pass by Joseph to Neighbors, and Jake Neighbors missed on that. Icing called against Canada.
We've already seen Fantilli catch Switzerland a bit of a break. Quick transition here. Veleno thinks he has a step, but Moser digs in and gets just enough of an angle to not really have to reach, but to ride Veleno off the puck. And Lucic, you want to dive out of the way, your legs will tangle up. That is not Lucic's fault. That's Kukan for bailing on the play, which is smart. I would do the same, but you get tripped, but that's better than getting hammered through the glass.
McBain for the face-off, wins it away from Hischier, and Uyghur has it back. Lead pass to Carcone, that missed. It was deflected, nicely waved off. A quick first period here. Now McBain intercepts that pass. Waffle. It's a second drive, plays it back around, and Joseph sealed the wall. Carcone trying to throw that back in front, blocked by Waffle. Another chance, McBain put that wide. Entertaining first period.
Lots of pace. You see the different kind of games where Switzerland is trying to beat Canada up the ice on the rush. Canada trying to win the puck along the boards and attack from below the goal line.
It's been an amazing evolution by the Swiss program. Kukan moves in. When Patrick Fisher was a player for them, they spent half the time in Division 1A, the second division down.
And they spent half the game skating backwards as a five-man unit trying to defend. No more.
Quinn chips it down. We're talking about the three kinds of tournaments, teams in this tournament. As Corley moves in, throws it back in front, that's knocked away. As Toffoli got a stick on it, the teams that try to avoid relegation, the teams that seek to qualify for the quarters, and the teams that have gold medal aspirations. Switzerland's been in all three buckets.
Yeah.
They've really evolved from being one of those teams that try to avoid relegation. They're now regulars in the quarters. And they really think they've got a chance to win gold.
And they're right on the bubble of being a perennial gold medal contender.
Ambiol, long shot that's knocked away. Andres Ambiol, the all-time leader in games played and tournaments played in the World Championship. Broke that mark last year. Wowzer, shot. That goes off Fantilli. Ambiol at age 39, the oldest player in this World Championship. And showing no signs of stepping down anytime soon. Lead pass to Gaetan Haas with Canada changing. Haas moves in. Poke check there. As Hunt knocked that away. Bouncy puck in front. And Montembeault the save on Simeon. Bear on it. Puck down to Moran in the corner. 8 to go here in the opening period. Veleno on it. Joe Veleno. Shoved off the puck there by Miranda. And Simeon moves that back to Markey.
Canada's got to be really tight with their line changes. They're getting caught out of structure on quick ups.
Fiala tied up by Middleton. The puck comes up. Penalty coming to Canada. Jake Middleton will go off. And the Swiss go to the power play with 7:46 to go in the opening period. The Swiss go to the power play here. In this opening period as Jake Middleton goes off, the Swiss got off to a good start in the power play. Scored 4 times against Slovenia in the opener. We got 1 power play goal since then. Niederreiter and Mulligan lead the way with 2 power play goals each. Face-off, though, is won by Locke. Puck rattles into the Canadian bench.
They've introduced some new people to the power play. As Hischier shows up, Fiala, and they're running it through different guises. So the top guys out there for the power play. Nico Hischier up for Selke, known for his defensive work. Oh yeah, he had 31 goals and 80 points this past season.
7.5 to go here in the period. Kukan drops it back to Fiala. Fiala got spun around the line. Loose puck in front. Hischier gets to it, gets swept away by Montembeault.
That was close to Uyghur picking up a hold.
Well, there are about 9,000 whistles in the crowd right now. Malgin with it. Dennis Malgin. I remember watching the Summit Series as a 7-year-old and hearing that for the first time, Europeans expressing their displeasure by whistling. Kukan with it. Steps away from McBain, back down to Hischier. Throws it back across, that's blocked by Bear. Minute to go on the power play. Kukan takes a return pass from Niederreiter. Back across Malgin for Niederreiter. Back pass to Fiala. Fiala feeds that back. Kukan back across Malgin. Shoots. Montembeault save. Rebound loose in front. Niederreiter couldn't reach it. Now goes Niederreiter. The crowd whistling again. Kukan. Poke check there by Valeno. And the puck kept alive by Niederreiter. At the point is Kukan. Fiala calling for it. Gets that pass. Drops it back to Kukan. To Fiala. Sweeps it down to Niederreiter. The pass skipped away from him. 20 seconds to go on the Swiss power play. Fiala back for Kukan. Slides it across. Fiala, hard shot, tipped in front. Montembeault the save. Back across it goes. Malgin a shot. And Montembeault gets that as well.
Sam Montembeault has been locked in all tournament long. Coming off his breakout year with Montreal. Here's the earlier shove on Fiala's hip by Uyghur. Not called. And Switzerland starts generating pucks down in the front of the net. Montembeault right there. Here's the other one. Now that's Hischier lifting it and then Joseph chicken winging it. Kind of pinning it down, so both guys are probably guilty of that infraction. You'd never know, listen to the fans make their call.
Oh, it is short for Fanatic.
Always reasonable, that's why we love it.
The atmosphere here has been tremendous. This triple-header day had the Czechs first, and they were roaring through their game. Now you got the Swiss with a huge contingent here, and tonight you got the host Latvians taking on Kazakhstan. So the place will be rocking for about 12 hours today.
3 distinct and unique fan sets rolling through.
Yes. With one commonality.
They're here to enjoy hockey.
They will drain the beer kegs at the fan zone with regularity. Haas jumps in. Poke check there by Barron. Cody Glass pokes at it. Out to Krebs. And Hunt plays it back around to Barron. Out to center ice for Toffoli, the Canadian captain, along with Peyton Krebs. Toffoli peels back along the boards. Slides it back into Krebs. There's Michael Fora with it. Play for HC Davos in the Swiss League. One of the more picturesque locales for a professional hockey team. Middleton up to Uyghur. Trying to slide that ahead. It was knocked away by Berchi. The puck bounces back down to the Swiss zone. Here's Berchi with it. Winds back out. Across he goes for Herzog. Fabrice Herzog, fan of that shot. Picked up by Blais. Up for Fantilli. Now that Fantilli avoided that check and plays it back in deep. Lucic bumps his man off the puck. Now Tanner Richard turns it over to Middleton. Block across the Blais. Sammy Blais works that back in front of him through the crease. And Joseph rattled that wide. Austin Krause. Down to Blais. Myers. Long drifting shot that's swatted away by Giannoni. Picked up by Yanis Moser. Had a real good year for the Arizona Coyotes this year under Andre Tourigny. Scored 7 goals and 31 points in his second NHL season. Joseph plays it in deep. Here's Quinn on it. Poked away by Krause. Shot to 11-6 Switzerland. in a scoreless first period. McBain works in. And Elaine Loeffel spins back. Long cross ice pass to Hischier, tied up there by Middleton. And Hischier got buried there by McBain. Fiala picks it free, slides it across. Marty, a shot that deflected, went wide. 3 to go here in the first period. Uyghur races to it. The Calgary defenseman got straightened up there. Middleton back on it. He got spun around by Hischier.
Uyghur is down in the corner for Canada. That would be trouble.
Slow to get up. Carcone moves in as Loeffel fell. Carcone with a chance. Gets Stoney down.
Uyghur just getting to the bench board. His head is down the entire time.
Attended to by the Canadian medical staff. Long lead pass for Ambiol. Throws it back in front. Niederreiter back across. Oh, what a save by Montembeault and Corby. And Fantilli back the other way along with Glass and Toffoli. The play's offside at the Swiss line. 2:13 to go in the first period. No score between Canada and Switzerland. Kevin Fiala looking for his first point in this World Championship, the only Swiss player without one so far.
You would think that would be the case, but that won't last long.
He arrived late.
He was playing his third game. He was dynamic in his first game. Very, very good. Could have had a handful of points against Slovakia. It was a little bit tighter checking, not quite as effective. And it was Mackenzie Uyghur who took a high stick from Dennis Malkin in the corner that was missed by the officials. He's cut in his mouth. Would have been a 4-minute penalty.
Until he drops that back to Joseph. And lifts that back down the ice as Siegenthaler goes back. Niederreiter. Go to the center ice, picked up by Tyler Myers, playing his third World Championship. That's the most of any Canadian player. Tyler Toffoli, the only other Canadian player with experience, won a gold medal in 2015 with Canada when the Canadians went a perfect 10-0 in that tournament. All 10 wins in regulation. Cashed a tidy bonus that was put up that year.
To go perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they won it. I think it was $1 million Swiss francs.
Each guy?
No, the team. easy slugger.
Well, like, no wonder it got their attention.
Fora moves in. Shoots from a sharp angle, punched away by Montembeault. Glauser fires it, and off the outside of the goal frame. Here's Haas with it. Moves away from Valeno. Middleton steps up on Miranda. Fora spins back in the corner, inside a minute to go here in the period. Fora, wraparound, try Montembeault down, sweeps that away. Fora, back for Simeon. Miranda, rink wide he goes. Glauser with a chance. Montembeault the save. Glauser back with it. Great chance there for the Swiss. Played back across. Haas for Miranda. Back for Gaetan Haas to Miranda. For Glauser. Works it back across, and Haas' stick was tied up by Valeno. Blais out to center ice to Lucic. And Lucic had the puck at his feet. Canada changing again. Simeon shoots, kicked up by Montembeault. The rebound goes right to Locke. Lifts it back ahead for Krause, but the pass is picked off by Fiala. Drops it back to Loeffel. That deflects wide. Hischier shoved down by Myers. Penalty coming to Canada. Tyler Myers looking around, but they're going to get him for a cross-check here with 4.6 seconds to go in the period.
See, Andre Tournier say it. Cross-check, and he's right. It's the full extension as Hischier created a bit of a gap on him. The chance for a Glauser backdoor. Sammy Blais falls asleep, weak side winger. And here's the high stick for Malgin. He's skating through, you can barely see it. He drags it right across the face of Uyghur. That was the one that was missed that got Uyghur checking for damage. So 5 seconds left here. Face-off play for Switzerland. Look for Kukan to shoot it if they can win it.
Goes to the corner. Time expires. Niederreiter and Uyghur getting into it. It'll be a minute and 56 seconds of power play time to carry over for the Swiss into the second after a scoreless opening period here in Riga at the 2023 World Hockey Championship.
Good game, Tyler. Good game. Game, Nino. Good game, right? Come on. Heads up, heads up. Good hit, good hit. We're good, 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 good. Nope, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good.
Sam Montembeault faced 16 shots in that opening period, turned them all aside. A scoreless opening period. Leonardo Giannoni and Switzerland will begin the second period on the power play for a minute and 56 seconds. As Tyler Myers has that left to serve on his cross-checking penalty. Mackenzie Weegar had a word with the officials at the start of the period after they missed the high sticking call.
What can you do? They missed them sometimes. Sorry, missed it. On you go.
Outside there, thank you very much. Guys, outside there, okay? Stakes down in the eyes and the puck will come, okay? Go, 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 go!
Tobias Bjork, the Swedish referee, gets them going. And the face-off, controlled by Canada, as Scott Lawton, one another face-off, and picks that puck clean. Lawton, pucked off it by Fiala. And here comes Kukan with it. Dean Kukan. Spent 7 years in the Columbus organization, returned to Europe this year. Fiala tried to swing that back across, but that puck deflected away and back down the ice. And Kukan goes back as Canada gets fresh penalty killers out there. Kukan swings that back for Fiala. Fiala up for Dennis Malgin, who led all players with 3 shots in that period. Pivots back. Weegar, by the way, played over 7 minutes, led all skaters in ice time in the first period.
Not surprising. Mackenzie Weegar is the #1 defenseman for Canada. Second in tournament scoring as well.
Yeah.
He's carrying a heavy defensive workload.
Romain Loeffel at center ice, being harassed by Lawton. Enzo Corvi swings it across to Miranda. Bumps that wide of the goal. Corvi on it. And Miranda with it. Drops that back to Loeffel. Loeffel swings it back across to Corvi. Pass picked off by Krause. Has some time and sends it down the ice.
Canada loves to pressure down with their wingers on the guy in the half wall, trying to 2-on-1 and create a turnover, as Lawson Krause just did on the penalty kill.
20 seconds to go in the Swiss power play. In Tampere, Finland, the Finns have a 2-1 lead on Austria in the second period. Middleton goes back, and Weegar plays it around. Batted down by Miranda, and it's an icing call against the Swiss on the power play, which has 1 second remaining.
Good start for Canada. That was a good kill. Didn't really let Switzerland get set up. Good clears, good pressures. Now Canada's got to get on their toes. They spent the second half of that first period playing in their own end, backing up in the neutral zone. They have to re-engage on the forecheck. Get a few more touches themselves.
Cody Glass out there with Adam Fantilli and Tyler Toffoli, the forward line for Canada. Off the drop, Fantilli falls. Picked up by Ambiol. Andres Ambiol slides that down to the Canadian zone. Myers goes in after Fora. And Richard plays that back around for Herzog. Behind the goal, Myers crunches into Richard. And Richard, native of Markham, Ontario. Joseph plays it wide. Lead pass for Cody Glass of the Nashville Predators. And long shot stopped by Giannoni. Off the stick of Fantilli. Toffoli pokes it ahead. Here's Fora. Back to center ice. That pass was broken up by Bear, and Barron has it back. Siegenthaler picked that off. Rolls it back to the Canadian line by Barron, and Montembeault to play it. Talking about Sam Montembeault being one of the highlights of the season for Montreal. Really a breakthrough year for a guy that claimed on waivers from Florida in October of 2021.
Montreal wasn't sure if he was capable of being an NHL goaltender. He turned out to be sort of a top 15 goalie in the league this year with Montreal.
This lost the puck. Lucic flips it ahead for Blais. Sammy Blais fires it, deflected wide off Siegenthaler. Peyton Krebs on it now. Blais feeds that down to Krebs. Krebs centers it. Lucic shoots. Giannoni the save on that. And Fiala has it back down for Switzerland. To Siegenthaler. He was a Washington cap casualty. Moved to New Jersey, and he's fit right in with that group.
Chandler Stevenson, also a cap casualty in Washington. Some pretty good players they had to get rid of, as it happens when you have success.
Loeffel leaped to knock that down. Shoots Montembeault the save, and Weegar controls the rebound. Here's Weegar back with it. Through the middle of Krause for Quinn. Jack Quinn shoots, and Giannone gobbles that up and hangs on. 4 gone here in the second period.
Canada takes the momentum of killing the penalty, starts trying to get in the offensive zone, has a couple of cycles, couple of possessions. Haven't found a way to really get dangerous in front of Giannone, but chipping away back territorially anyways. In a game where I think, if you're going to be honest, having watched the tournament so far, you'd expect Switzerland to have a little bit more of the attack, a little bit more of the pace, and Canada defending hard and looking to be opportunistic with their chances.
Lawton for the face-off against Richard, 2 of the best face-off men in the tournament.
Richard's strong side always helps.
And he won that one cleanly. Picked up though by Quinn in the corner for Krause. A bump there by Richard. Richard also part of that Swiss League champion team in Geneva this year. As he moves in, and Myers for long reach, knocked that away. Geneva plays its games in the Patinoire des Vernets, old school arena in Geneva, which was the host of the 1997 World Junior Championship. That lead pass misfired. Bear goes back for it. Canada's 13th forward that year was Joe Thornton.
It's a pretty good team. How old was he, 15?
He was 17.
17? He would have had to be young. It's a long time ago if Jumbo was a teenager still. I think one of the real changes as well in the growth of Switzerland is that games against Canada, games against Czechia are no longer intimidating to them.
Right.
They're competitive, they're hard, not scary. They go into them thinking, if we play well, we have a good chance to win.
Here's Bear with it. Cross he goes to Barron. That shot deflected wide, and Jake Neighbors knocked down there by Marty. Play back around to Glauser. Bang high off the glass. Bounce in front of the Swiss bench. Bear plays on ahead for McBain. In comes Jack McBain. Moves across the grain and plays that back across for Barron. Barron feeds it down to Carconi. Return pass missed. Barron steps up though. He watched there by Niederreiter. Plays it back down to Neighbors. Niederreiter tied up by Barron. And Barron jumps down to the forecheck. Niederreiter to Corby. Middleton has a takeaway by Ambuel. Andres Ambuel winds back and front, drops it back. Siegenthaler, a shot that floats wide. Kukan shoots. That was blocked by Middleton in front. Kukan got it back up, feeds in front for Simeon. Now Middleton lost his stick, but Fantilli plays the puck out. Fantilli battling for it with Simeon, and Fantilli falls. Giannone leaves that behind the goal, now moves it up for Miranda. It's squeezed on the puck by Myers, and Lawton threads that ahead, but it's picked off. Haas had to wait, but not long enough. And the Swiss are called offside at the Canadian line. No score in the second period at the 2023 World Hockey Championship. No score here in Riga, Latvia. Canada taking on Switzerland, being the top two teams in Group B, the two undefeated teams. Czechia with a win earlier today over Norway.
Czechia a little depleted though. They're down their top two centermen. Unfortunately, Philip Hedl and Riga Sedlak both out for the tournament. So these appear to be the top two teams in the group right now.
So the top four teams in each 8-team group advance to the quarterfinals. The bottom two teams in each group are relegated. Quinn drops that back. Uyghur with a shot. It floats high and wide. Malgin back on it with Fiala flying the zone. Pass hits Hischier in the skate that was offside at the Canadian line.
Middleton having some fun with Hischier. Gave him a little bump after the whistle. And Hischier shoved it back, and Middleton with the faux tipping over from the smaller Hischier. The whistle's long gone here, and Middleton knows what he's doing. He's not going to take a penalty, but he's going to just be annoying. And the little shove back, Wes Middleton reacts. The games that guys play in the middle of the game.
Yeah, Middleton is a character.
Yes, but it's worth noting, you are not going to push Hischier or Fiala out of any game.
No. Malgin with it. Malgin really got his feet under him this year as a National Hockey League player after he was traded by Toronto to Colorado. Moser, long shot, deflected in front, picked up by Krause. He and Hischier collide. The puck goes in the corner for Fiala. Fiala back for Malgin, being poke checked there by Lawton, and the puck goes back to center ice. Martin. Knocked down by Myers. Fiala back with it. Kevin Fiala. He lost it as well. Krause looks ahead for Blais. Sammy Blais, crunched there by Marty, a big defenseman. Christian Marty, 6'3", 210 pounds. That pass just missed Ambiol as Bear came back on him. Lucic around for Hunt. Out to center ice it goes and scooped up by Lawful. And Ambiol, who wanted nothing to do with the ceremony last year, honoring him for breaking the record for games played at the World Championship. In comes Valeno. Joe Valeno trying to drop that back for Lucic. Around comes Bear for it. Valeno trying to center it. That pass broken up neatly by Lawful. He's got Ambiol with him. Lawful waiting for help to arrive. The Swiss are changing. None came. Valeno punched down by Niederreiter on the forecheck. Joe Valeno trying to kick that free.
Yeah, you better be careful kicking down with your blade on top of someone's foot. Niederreiter didn't like that at all. He's going back at Valeno.
Valeno giving it back to him. They're fencing him behind the goal. Siegenthaler back around to Kukan. Valeno and Niederreiter still tied up.
Niederreiter's doing his best to take Valeno's helmet off.
And down goes Valeno. I think Niederreiter's going to get the penalty.
That's frustrating. Valeno drew him into just taking the one as they went at each other for 30 seconds.
But Canada gets the power play out of it.
This kick right here is the one that, no, not that, this.
Right there.
Oh
Ooh.
my, like that is beyond dirty. That is egregiously awful when you know exactly what you're doing. I'm sorry, Joe Valeno. You're lucky that's all the reaction you got. And they're battling back and forth, and then the last, that's Valeno drawing one. But that kick is, that's like suspendable stuff. So you can take whoever you want after that long skirmish, but that initial stomp, whatever you want to call it, when you know what you're doing, that's into the guy's ankle.
They just showed it on the scoreboard
That's
here.
into his Achilles. Like that is. And then that's a decent sales job by Valeno to draw the power play.
Uyghur feeds it down to Foley, back across. Fantilli with a shot, and Giannoni makes the save on Canada's second power play of the game.
Fantilli took a little something off that, trying to go back against the grain and find 5-hole. He didn't think he'd be able to get it short side, so he shot it a little bit slower and trying to find the gap between the legs of Giannoni.
That went off the stick too of Siegenthaler.
Siegenthaler as well.
So Locke for the face-off against Richard. They go nose to nose again. And Richard wins that cleanly, but not cleanly. Jumped it.
Richard on his strong side, pulling to his backhand, Locke pulling to his forehand. You don't have quite as much strength in that way. Locke just pulls it to the middle. Looks like he's going to try to pull to the middle.
Scramble draw. Uyghur plays it back in for Quinn. Snaps that rink wide to Foley with a shot. Rebound! Giannone, 2 good saves there. And Tanner Richard drops it off to Berchi. Knocked down by Richard at center ice. Pivots around Uyghur. And Mackenzie Uyghur drops that back to Quinn. The American League Rookie of the Year 2 years ago in Rochester. First full NHL season this year for Jack Quinn. The 8th overall pick by Buffalo in 2020. Dennis Moser up ahead for Haas. He's got Hischier with him. 2-on-2, shorthanded. Haas goes behind the back on Uyghur. Haas falls. Uyghur up to Quinn. Looks ahead for Lawton. And Scott Lawton throws that rink wide for it to Foley. Canada changing as Toffoli holds. Hunt comes on. He has the big shot. Toffoli, a drive, scores! Tyler Toffoli snaps it home. A power play goal, and Canada takes a 1-0 lead.
Finally, for Tyler Toffoli, who has been putting all kinds of rubber towards the net, had 2 good looks on the same power play. Waits for Lawson Krause to get into the eyes of Giannone, and then just flicks it short side. Giannone drops to the middle of the ice to look around Lawson Krause. Head to the left.
Did Krause touch this?
Nope. I think it goes straight on through.
They both pointed at each other.
I think it's thank you for the screen, thank you for scoring, and the lone Canadian fan have outnumbered 1,000 to 1 in this building. Celebrate a power play goal for the captain, Tyler Toffoli.
And that's his first of this tournament.
And I imagine Switzerland will be pretty hot that they ended up shorthanded in that entire exchange.
Patrick Fisher still giving to the officials. The fans are upset. By the way, Canadian families started arriving in the last 24 hours here for the second week of the World Championship. Marty knocks that down. It's picked up by McBain for Neighbors. Jake Neighbors slides that back down to the Swiss zone. Marty crunched there by Neighbors, and McBain steps up.
Marty is Switzerland's version of Middleton. A big, defensive, solid, rugged defender.
That plays offside at the Canadian line. 1-0 Canada leads. Here in the second. Canada 1-0 lead on Switzerland here in the second period. 9:31 to go. 2-1 Finland leading Austria in the second period in Tampere, Finland. Earlier today, the U.S. ran its record of 5-0 with a win over Denmark.
And during that last break, Patrick Fisher spent the entire time talking to all of his team.
Right.
And I imagine we can't get drawn into the extra stuff.
Both teams have had non-calls they don't like. Mackenzie Uyghur clipped the high stick in the first period. And that kick by Valeno going undetected in the second. That long shot drifted wide by Hischier. Siegenthaler back to pick it up. Kukan. Up for Malgin. Threads it in for Hischier, but it went through his feet. Picked up by Blais. Sammy Blais returned to St. Louis this year from New York. Part of the Tarasenko trade to the Rangers. Prowse reaching for that loose puck. Plays it back in deep. Blais missed almost the entire season the year before with a knee injury. As Fiala moves in. Controversial collision with PK Subban at the end of the season. Valeno winds out. Across to Barron. Lifted up by Haas and gloved down by Barron. Moves it there for Blais. Rink wide, he goes for Lucic. Lucic drops for Valeno. Walks it and fires. Ginoni the save. And he'll grab the rebound.
It's an interesting time now for Valeno, where you're either going to be sort of know the target's on your back for that just really unbelievable kick and the drawn penalty, and you will either go into a shell because you're feeling almost embarrassed that you did it, or you're going to get more aggressive. And that whole sequence results in Canada's first goal by Tyler Toffoli.
Krebs with the face-off. The shot by Toffoli bounced wide. And picked up now by Moser. Plays for Andre Tourigny in Arizona. That shoot in by Barron deflects up and out.
Now the one thing that Team Canada knows about Tyler Toffoli, so he's a veteran. He's been in this tournament before. He's still probably working his way into full game shape as a slightly older player. Maybe not as easy to get there. But he's the one guy that if he gets hot, he can do something nobody else in Canada can do. He can score 6 goals in 4 games. That's the kind of player he is. He led an NHL team in scoring. He's their best offensive player. And even though he hasn't scored prior to that goal, they're going to keep sticking with him on the power play because of what he can do when it's going right. And maybe that spurs him on.
Fire back out of the Swiss zone. Lawful for Richard. Knocked down by Glass in the corner for Krebs. Peyton Krebs swings it across for Toffoli. Banks that back to Joseph. Joseph's shot skips wide. Toffoli centers it. Glass couldn't get a shot away. Richard got a stick on him. Glass back with it. Picked up by Lawful across to Marty. And Marty's pass goes off Krebs and back down to the Swiss zone. Swiss are changing. As Lawful buys some time in behind the goal. Ambiol jumps on. Ambiol scored his first World Championship goal in his first game. April 25th, 2004. Canada's Adam Fantilli was born 6 months later. In comes Carconi. Great move at the line. Shoots, just missed far side. Hunt fires it back in. McBain centers. Another chance for Jake Neighbors. And that's stopped by Ginoni. He'll hang on.
Canada doing a good job not only getting the puck in the offensive end, but then finding scoring options. Good play by McBain, quickly out to Neighbors, and tries Ginoni from a good spot. They like those plays. Percentage plays onto the tape, behind the net, to an attacking forward. I love that reaction to Neighbors. You expect as an offensive player, like any chance that's decent, you expect to score. You're surprised you know, even though he might score 5% of the time on that shot. You somehow expect to do it 90% of the time.
Off the face, off that shot by Middleton. Hit Ginoni up high. Fiala. Rink wide to Fora. Fora comes in, falls in front of Middleton. Hischier picks it out. Nico Hischier works it and shoots, scores! Nico Hischier ties it up. 6:36 to go in the second. His first of the tournament.
Nice individual effort. He absolutely shakes Jack Quinn. It's a 4-on-3. Lots of bodies back here. But Quinn is the winger playing down low with Hischier one-on-one, and it looks like Quinn thinks he's going to be dropped off to some sort of support underneath. He gets caught on the high side. Hischier wheels, keeps him on his hip, and Mackenzie Weegar never closes. He's on his knees playing nothing but space, and quick little flick from Nico Hischier to get his first and Switzerland's first in the game and tie it up.
12 goals in 26 career games for Nico Hischier at the World Championship. This game is back to even. Play. Spins back with it. Shots are closing in now. It's 16-6 Canada here in the second. Overall, 19-16 in favor of Switzerland, which had a wide edge in the opening period. Sorry, 10-3 the shots for Canada in this period. It was 16-6 Switzerland in the first.
It was Kevin Fiala's first point, so now every skater on Switzerland has one. Too many men for Canada. Too many men for Canada.
And the linesman called it at the line, but they call offside. 5:48 to go here.
What?
In the second. Nico Hischier, the 24-year-old, playing his fourth World Championship, a two-time World Junior player for the Swiss. Played 1 year with the Halifax Mooseheads and had a dynamite year there.
Such a smart player. Even when he doesn't score, which he does, he helps you so much.
The Swiss can boast one of the best defensemen in the NHL in Roman Josi, and a host of good young forwards. Toffoli drops that back for Fantilli. Got his pocket picked by Berchi. Looks in for Herzog. Fabrice Herzog in backhand shot stopped by Montembeault. And now Berchi winds and fires. Montembeault to save on that. And Toffoli chops that down to the Swiss zone. Loffel tried to milk that into an icing, couldn't quite do it. Enzo Corvi across to Marti. 5 to go here in the second period. Will Myers really high off the glass, just missed taking a delay of game penalty there. Now Corvi back with it. Corvi back in front for Niederreiter. He tapped that wide. Niederreiter throws it back in front, that missed Corvi. Niederreiter winds around McBain. Niederreiter works back in, holds Montembeault down. Siegenthaler couldn't get a shot away. And Carconi with an empty play to steal the puck. Rink wide to Neighbors. Poked that ahead, and Hischier back to pick it up. In comes Malgin. Dennis Malgin drops it back. Siegenthaler chipped at that, and now Carconi is off to the races. And Moser knocked that away. Siegenthaler, rink wide pass to Fiala. Got bumped there by Quinn. Other side it goes to Hischier. In on Lott. And those two know each other well from the Metropolitan Division. Go head to head, then chipped out by Krause. And Glauser keeps it alive. Malgin. Spun around by Uyghur. And Middleton pokes out ahead. Puck bounce in front of the Canadian bench and play is called. 3:32 to go here in the second period.
Switzerland almost gets Herzog in alone, and he's getting close off both sides. He's got Myers on one, Joseph on the other. He takes it to the backhand. Montembeault knows that he can't go anywhere else but to the short side of the net, stays tall, and Sam Montembeault has been rock solid in this game. Canada did everything they need in net.
Uyghur wrists that down to the Swiss zone. Here's Blais picking it free. Middleton to move to the middle. The pass misfired for him. Swiss had a perfect record through the semifinals in 2013 of the World Championship in Sweden. Lost to the Swedes in the gold medal game. Won a silver again 5 years later. Gaetan Haas drops that back. Marty a hard shot. Hit back in front. He scores! Simeon! And it's 2-1 Switzerland. Dario Simeon puts Switzerland ahead for the first time.
This solid tournament continues. You see Sammy Blais runs down low looking for a hit. Then everyone starts chasing, puck gets to the middle. Eventually deflects in, I think off Lucic's stick, slows it down, and Simeon able to shrug off Jake Middleton to get to the loose puck. Parked in front, spins, sits right in his stick and rips it home. Canada likes to try to pressure down there, but you got to be mindful. If you don't get it, then the rotation scramble is on, and Switzerland takes advantage and the lead.
Siegenthaler wrists that down, deflects wide of the goal. Joseph back to pick it up. Ischier and Martin, or Simeon rather, with the goals for Switzerland. Martin draws the assist on that goal with a point shot. Bergy taken down. Here's Siegenthaler back with it. Kukat, rink wide pass to Bergy. And Myers back with it. Tyler Toffoli. Up for Krebs. Winds back in, bouncing puck. Krebs back on it. Siegenthaler lost his stick, grabs another one from Niederreiter. There's a pass for McBain, a quick shot. Pad save Giannone, rebound, loose in front. And Toffoli couldn't quite reach that. Barron plays it ahead. McBain got tangled up in the corner by Siegenthaler, took his helmet off, and McBain has to leave the ice. On comes Carconi. The drop pass for the trailer. Moser feeds it back across. That pass just missed Niederreiter. Ambule tied up in the corner. Pulls that free, got spun around by Ischier. And got it back up by Carconi. Plays it around to Barron. Long lead pass for Neighbors, trying to chip that for Lawton. Rink wide he goes, Carconi shoots, and Giannone makes the save on him.
Some close calls at both ends. McBain takes this puck here, sweeps it on net. Now look at Toffoli backdoor. He's trying to kick it over to Toffoli. Except Giannone kicks it aside. Can't pull it all the way because Tyler Toffoli was wide open if he could have found something on the back door for a tap-in.
Leonardo Giannone, a 5-time Swiss League goalie of the year, a 7-time champion in that league with 3 different teams. He's 35.
So no shortage of experience. He may not have won a world championship before, but he's played in huge games. And he's had success in them.
Last year, they rolled through the preliminary round, as we said, 6-0-1. In the quarterfinal against the United States, he was okay. Not great, okay.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Swayman was brilliant in a 3-0 win. Fiala sweeps that down to the Canadian zone. Uyghur goes back. Icing called against the Swiss.
Nico Ischier getting Switzerland on the board with nice individual effort, then broken play off a broken stick, and Simeon tucks it home to give Switzerland their first lead of the game. It's been a back and forth affair. Switzerland really carried it early in the first. Canada carried the first half of the second.
Shots are 22-9 in favor of the Swiss, as a hard shot by Hutt goes just wide. Quinn down to Kraus, Fantilli after it. Adam Fantilli pulls it free. Centers for Kraus, drops that back to Quinn. Jack Quinn shoots, one of the saves through the screen of Fantilli. He'll hang on to that with 55 seconds to go in the period.
Simeon's got a tidy 5 points in the tournament.
Yeah.
Now, Switzerland's been scoring a lot of goals, so a lot of guys who are picking up points, but these depth guys, it's not just the NHL stars that are driving it for Switzerland. Their domestic players are excellent.
They've had a long history together. They play in tournaments during the season. There's international breaks during the European season, so they know each other well. Off the face-off, Hutt drops that back, and that hard shot taken by Uyghur, deflected wide. Krebs dropped it back, but the pass missed Uyghur and goes back down the ice.
Looking for offense late in the period. They got Hunt and Uyghur out defensively, not usually a pair.
The referee fell in the corner as the puck goes down the ice. Nicely waved off. Glauser hammers that, but got bumped there by Lucic. That was more than a bump, as Glauser makes sure everything's where it should be. Lucic works back in, drops it off to Krebs. Krebs centers it. In comes Myers with a shot. Ginoni save. Rebound, loose in front. Lucic reaching for it. It's pumped down the ice by Simeon. An icing called against the Swiss. A close call there in the dying seconds of the second period.
Good look to Myers, patience head up, but just so many bodies. I think he gets the first one down to Ginoni. Lucic can't quite get his stick on it. And then all 5 Swiss players in their own crease to make sure it doesn't get over the line. Glauser looking for a towel. Nick there is bleeding. Because he is, he'll have to get off the ice. That's an acceptable change when a guy's injured, can't be bleeding on the ice.
McBain for the face-off against Haas with 12 seconds to go in the second period. Fora off the glass, knocked down by Uyghur, and sent back to center ice. Whoa, fired back in by Myers, just missed the head of Ginoni, who didn't like that much.
You're allowed to shoot. You might not like it, but you're not like, game's going on, shoot anywhere you want. Who cares if it's offside?
Switzerland up 2-1 after 2 at the 2023 World Hockey Championship in Riga, Latvia.
Bist du innen schon gegangen? Okay.
Guys, outside there, okay? Sticks down in the eyes and the puck will come, okay? Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! Yep, yep. Whoop. Hey! Whoop! No, no, no. Thank you. Outside! Go, go! eh? 4-1.
Heischer, Tyler Toffoli, and Dario Simeon, the goal scorers here in that second period. A 2-1 lead for Switzerland after 40 minutes of play.
It's been a good game. Spirited.
Yeah.
A little chippy. So I think Switzerland much better in the first period. Canada the better team in the second, and yet it was in the second where Switzerland outscored Canada.
Sam Montembeault has been busy, facing 22 shots through 2 periods of play. He's allowed 2 goals. Dressed for Canada at the 2016 World Junior Championship, did not get any game action in that tournament in Finland. And Leonardo Gianotti, the veteran for the Swiss, playing in his 34th career game at the World Championship. Jake Middleton, Lawson Krause among the 2 out there for Canada. They had a beef during the regular season in an Arizona-Minnesota game, and it got pretty nasty. They're roommates here. So they have put that aside for now. However, they're not putting it away.
They're not?
Next time they meet,
they're going to fight?
They're going to settle it.
Okay.
But not now.
Feels very Canadian. You can room with a guy for a few weeks, go through a bonding experience, and say, well, we still have to take care of that old unfinished business.
Buckets off next time I see you. Here's Kukan with it.
Not supposed to take your buckets off anymore. They're supposed to blow that down.
Okay, it's an expression.
Just saying, don't want anyone to get hurt.
And they're punching each other in the face. You're right.
With the visors.
Back goes Myers with it. Up for Neighbors. Jake Neighbors. Pass ahead to McBain. In comes Jack McBain. Pulls that around Glauser. And McBain feeds that back to Myers. A shot that broke his stick in half. And Myers quickly grabs another from equipment man Paul Boyer of the Detroit Red Wings, who's at his 4th World Championship.
They got the defensive sticks down to the defensive end and the forward sticks down to the forwards end. You don't usually see that for equipment men on the Canadian bench. Usually they're all together.
Oh. It's long benches here.
It's a long stick you got to grab. They don't. Tyler Myers can't use anybody else's.
He's one of the players who has an exemption from the league to use a longer stick in the NHL. Here's Barron on it. Up by Haas. Up for Toffoli. Drops it back for Krebs. Peyton Krebs with Ethan Bear driving. Pass back across for Fantilli. Broken up. As Miranda got a stick on that.
You see Krebs there. Throw his leg out and take that to the net. He had Miranda on his back. He could have gotten very close to all the way to the net.
Toffoli's got a skate problem. Makes his way off the ice. There's Romain Lawful with it. Picked up by Uyghur. Stolen back by Tanner Richard. That shot flutters high. Swiss have won 3 of the last 4 meetings, including last year's 6-3. Semi-preliminary round against Canada. And that plays offside at the Swiss line.
Joe Veleno has been the center of the whistle attention for the Swiss fans after the second period incident. And not to be forgotten, Joe Veleno was the highest scoring forward on Canada's roster.
Right.
He's a very important player. His line has been consistent throughout this tournament.
In comes Lucic. The Glass with a shot, stopped by Giannone. This is Glass with Veleno and Lucic, the forward line for Canada.
Not Sammy Blais. Well, Andre Tourigny has shown no reluctance of switching things up mid-game.
Middleton fires that around, waiting for it is Malgin. Canada has remaining games against Norway on Monday, Czechia on Tuesday. Malgin winds in. Crunch there by Myers. Picked up by Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Gains some rice and fires that down. Block. Works it free for Krause, drops it back, and Quinn couldn't get the shot away. Quinn centers it. And Lawton had a stick lifted by Hischier. Malgin works it with Glauser. Malgin peels back. Feeds that back. Fiala, hard shot that goes high. He's been ripping it high since he got here. Quinn. Knocked off stride, puts it ahead, knocked down by Fiala. Tried to center it, goes right back to Quinn. Bounces back down to feet of Janis Moser. Across he goes to Glauser. Last game of the evening has Latvia in action against Kazakhstan. As Latvia tries to make it to the quarterfinals. Ambiel was dumped there by Joseph. And McBain plays it around for Neighbors. Out with Carcone. Jake Neighbors fires that in. Giannone out to play it. Marking. Bumped there by Neighbors. The line held by Bear. Hooks it back in, but Loeffel takes it back for Switzerland. In comes Haas. A big wide pass to Ambiel. A backhand shot rolls wide. Haas with it. Slammed there by Barron. Ambiel makes his way off. Simeon comes on. 4.5 gone here in the third period. Now Bear back with it. Around to Barrett. That pass disrupted. McBain. That pass disrupted, but the puck finally goes back to center ice. Richard plays that down. Here's Montembeault on it. Back around to Middleton. Brought up by Fantilli. Then lift that back ahead for Toffoli. It's broken up. And a hand pass called against the Swiss.
Swiss start the third period playing exactly where you want to play when leading by a goal, right in Canada's end. Below the goal line. Canada doing a lot of flips, but the Swiss keep countering it right back into the offensive zone. You start looking at the history between these two teams, and it's Canada has not beaten Switzerland in regulation in their last 4 meetings in the World Championship. 1 win came in overtime, 3 losses, one of which also came in overtime.
4 of the last 8 meetings have gone to OT, and Switzerland overall has won 3 of the last 4 head-to-head. So it's Switzerland's given Canada trouble over the years. You think back to the 2006 Olympics, a 2-0 win. The Swiss over Canada. 2010 Olympics, took him to a shootout. Here's Toffoli, a backhand shot, turned away by Giannone. Uyghur with a backhand shot, and Giannone makes the save on that with Fantilli skating through.
Well, Tyler Toffoli's been noticeable in this game. Not just because he scored the goal, but he's had several looks, skating a little bit better. Giannone has had to face down probably 4 or 5 of Tyler Toffoli's shots.
Well, Toffoli did something no one else has done in the tournament yet. Scored on Giannone. That's the first goal he's allowed in the tournament.
Switzerland started the tournament with 3 straight shutouts.
They've outscored their opposition now 21-3. Off Not a great start to the World Championship. What they'd love is a great finish. Speaking of which, Finland up 2-1 on Austria in the third period. We've seen this movie before from the Finns. They flipped the switch in the medal round. That pass broken up by Veleno. Veleno for Lucic. That's knocked away, and Blaze gets right through Berchi. Myers winds through, feeds it across to Lucic. Well, Lucic comes in. Up there by Moser, picked up now by Blay in the corner. Lucic back on it. Lucic trying to pick that free. And moved out for Glauser. Tanner Richard feeds that back. Richard was a third-round pick of Tampa back in 2012, played junior in 12. Spent 4 years in Syracuse, the American League team of the Lightning. In comes Niederreiter on Bear. They back around to the point, lob a long shot. Hit Barron, bounced away, and now poked ahead by Quinn for Krause. He's got Lawton with him. Krause spun back, but Marty came back to take that puck away. Corby leaves that in the corner. Lawton steps into him.
Canada's having a hard time getting that second man tight to the puck on the forecheck. First guy will take it in there. First guy will get a bump on the initial forecheck, but the second guy's just too far away to sustain possession.
Carcone in with Neighbors. Carcone flips it back across. Just missed Neighbors with that pass.
Bad pass though, sailed on him.
Joseph moves up, finds McBain, but a penalty coming now. It's going to be a charge on McBain. And Switzerland's going to the power play here in the third. That is some serious cowbell. Now, Patrick Fisher is talking to the officials. He wants a check into the head penalty called to McBain. He's been called for charging.
I mean, he's 6'5". He's hitting Gaetan Haas. Here it is. He kind of elevates up, but I mean, elbow is like way tucked in. It cannot.
Number 11, 2 minutes, charging.
The hit was clean. I mean, maybe kind of getting up out of his crouch early makes it look worse, but that's not one I would call.
Swiss to the power play, 0 for 2 in the game, now 5 for 17 in the tournament. Scored 4 in their first game against Slovenia. Now Niederreiter is shot, ripped it high and wide. Another 20-goal year for Dino Niederreiter in the NHL, 24 in 78 games between Nashville and Winnipeg. 7 times he's cracked the 20-goal mark in 12 NHL seasons. Malgin. Back for Fiala. To Malgin. Now Fiala. Works it and shoots, trying to find a stick in front. Malgin drops that back. Caught by Kukan. Back to Malgin. Kukan. Long shot, hit his leg. Fiala tees it up, walks in, fans on it, feeds it down. Here's Niederreiter. That's poked away by Middleton. Middleton chops at that. And Uyghur gains possession. Tied up, and Lawton now sends it down the ice. Loeffel spins back. Drops it off to Corby. Rink wide he goes for Haas. Meyer's got a stick on that as Miranda moves it around. Ambuel back for Corby, and Neighbors cued that by Ambuel and back down the ice. A charter arrived last night here in Riga from Zurich. Another arrived this morning, full of Swiss fans. 16 buses of Czech fans made the way up from Prague this weekend.
Boy, I like it.
The city's going to be bursting with hockey fans all weekend.
We still have the home team to play tonight one more time.
And the Czechs play the Swiss tomorrow. Power play over for Switzerland as Richard plays it around. Uyghur chips that down to McBain. And Carcone with a bouncing puck throws it back around and finds Uyghur with it. Past the midway point of the third period. Carcone has that kicked away, and Uyghur back to pick it up. That bump there by Berchi. Now it goes to Neighbors with the Swiss changing. Jake Neighbors fires that down. Giannone rings it around. That's knocked down by Carcone. And McBain moves up. Lead pass to Fiala. Works it on Barron. Fiala swings it back across. Siegenthaler with it now. Drops it back to Fiala. Being watched by Quinn. Drops it off to Hischier. Nico Hischier spins away from Barron. And pivots back in the corner. Drops that back for Fiala. Long shot. Montembeau. Glove save, and he'll hang on. 9:07 to go in the third period. Switzerland a one-goal lead on Canada. Nico Hischier has played 3 times against Canada at the World Championship and has 3 goals in those 3 games.
Open the scoring and a nice individual effort tonight.
She mentioned he's a finalist for the Selke as the top defensive forward in the NHL. He's such a key player for New Jersey.
The fact that he's a nice compliment, perfect compliment to Jack Hughes.
Right. And scores 31 goals in the process. Mulligan pivots back. That's picked off by Quinn. Jack Quinn moves it back out of the Swiss zone. Kukan goes back as Quinn tries to hunt him down. Picked up by Lawton. Scott Lawton centers it. Just missed Krause. Long shot by Middleton. And that's squeezed by Giannone.
Pretty good rebound control from Giannone as Middleton drifts one in right up under his arm in an awkward position. And he's got traffic flying around him and screens to work through, and he's still able to not only stop it, but to hold it for no rebound at all. He's got 8:49 left to kind of get a big win and really put themselves in a great spot to take first in the group, which has several advantages.
We get the 4th seed from the other side in the quarterfinals. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. You know, the Finns are kind of languishing in the standings, so if Finland and/or Latvia make the quarters, they play their game at home no matter where they finish.
And both should finish, if they do finish, lower than first or second.
Uyghur drops it back until he shoots. That was blocked by Haas. Gaetan Haas moves it out with Simeon, 2-on-1. Haas Fantilli to the back check. Haas trying to feed that back across, but Fantilli broke that up.
Good job by Fantilli. Chase the forehand. Get your stick ready when he brings it to his forehand side to shoot it. Disrupt him then. And he did.
So we could see some higher seeds having to move if Finland and Latvia make the quarters as lower seeds. Normally 1 and 2 would stay home. It's a little different for this group because they're going to Tampere anyway. You win the game, you stay there, but on the finish side, you got to come here, then go back. Corvi drops it up to Niederreiter, works in. Montembeault down, setting. Oh, it's stopped by Montembeault. Rebound, score! Ambuel! Andres Ambuel makes it 3-1 Switzerland.
And close to offside. I think Alex Tanguay is checking as Ambuel gets his first of the tournament if it stands on another terrible line change. Look at the 3 Canadians go off. It's a 4-on-2, very slow developing. And the first save is an amazing save from Montembeault, but no back checkers get there. He's able to shovel the rebound home. But Canada is all over this replay right now, checking to see, could this be an offside? And what is a now 2-goal cushion for Switzerland as the veteran Andres Ambuel scores a huge goal.
His 25th career goal at the World Championship in his 128th game.
We have the Canadian replay guys right beside us.
Took a long look at that.
They begrudgingly walk back to their chairs. And
here's Myers, a long shot, looked down by Giannoni. Bouncing puck goes back to center ice. Berchi up. Berchi backhands that towards the goal. Valeno. Outlets for Blay. That's taken away by Richard. Centers it. Berchi has Montembeault down. Shoots at the goal post. And now Joseph plays it up for Lucic. Swiss are changing. So is Canada. Lucic works in by himself. Has a look back for help. But drop that off for Ethan Bear, who has jumped up. Now Jack McBain's back defending Malkin. Swings that back around for Hischier. Lucic. Up ahead to Barron. Justin Barron shoots. That goes wide. Picked up by Carcone. Fiala moves in, that's blocked by Neighbors. McBain tied up, drops that back to Hunt, winds and shoots, and he's only got a piece of that to knock it wide.
Probably was a quiet flight from Zurich coming over.
Oh, yeah. These 16 buses from Czechia, licensed.
Oh, boy.
Lock winds in, taken down by Simeon. Play continues. 5:45 to go in the third period. Back goes Weegar for it. Up for Krause. Knocked down at center ice by Lott. Cross to Hunt, who'll set ahead. Lott moves up on Moser. And Tyler Myers swats that back to Lawton. Lifts it back across for Quinn, knocked down by Niederreiter. comes Krebs across the line. Drops it off to Glass. Cody Glass shoots. Punched away by Giannone. Now picked up by Toffoli. Back for Middleton. He fires that wide. Moser back with it. Berchi moving ahead. And Toffoli stepped into Herzog. Hischier broke that up. Got away from Bear. Nico Hischier between the legs.
He wanted to blow the roof off this place.
Those Globetrotters there. Cody drops it back for Hunt. That pass bounced off his stick. Winger plays it back to Neighbors. Hunt winds and shoots, scores! Deflected in front. Might have been Carcone who got a piece of it. And Canada's back within one with 3:38 to go.
Not much going on, but finally a point shot through and a tip by Carcone, who's had the puck a lot, just hasn't been clean around the net. He's got his third of the tournament. And this goal matters because Nico Hischier tries to go through his legs and toes it wide. And that allows Brad Hunt. Well, that's a sinker. Man, that thing dropped. It was about 8 inches off the ground, and watch it dip down right onto the blade. Good job by McBain tying up Marty, allowing Carcone to find some open ice, and Canada back within one.
Here's Myers with it, 3.5 to go. Canada and Switzerland, another close one. Myers ranges back. Simeon moves in. Bank back for a long shot that goes wide. Siegenthaler trying to play it back in. And Myers gathers it back up. Fantilli chips that down to the Swiss zone. Glauser goes back as Krebs bears in on him. Krebs trying to work that free. This is Fantilli, Krebs, and Toffoli. Hunt shoots. Giannone had the puck at his feet, can't find it. And now finally punts that away. Fantilli reaching for it. Now Toffoli back at center ice with it. Chips it across to Hunt. Snaps the pass ahead to Uyghur. Leads the rush and plays it back to Krebs. Peyton Krebs feeds that back to Hunt, has time and slides it across to Uyghur. Uyghur for Toffoli, back in the corner. Uyghur chasing after it. And Hischier out to Berchi. Loose puck to Krebs. Feeds across for Toffoli. Back for Krebs in front, backhand shot. Into that wide. What a chance for Krebs. And Krebs shakes his head as he heads off. Pile up in the corner. Glauser was buried. 2 to go in the third period. Hischier lifts that past Joseph and back down the ice. Icing called. 1:52 to go. And this may be Sam Montembeau's call to the Canadian bench.
What a chance from Craigs on a feed from Toffoli. He's got Giannone down and out. Does that go post and out? What a nice pass. In tight. Good hands. No, Giannone gets a piece before it gets there. It looked like he wasn't going to be able to reach. Canada pulls Montembeau. Not going to waste their timeout just yet. Leave the tired group out there defending while they have a fresh set of 6.
Lawton for the face-off against Hischier. Kraus, Lucic, Carcone. The other forwards, Quinn is on the back end along with Uyghur, so it's actually 5 forwards, 1 D. Lawton wins it back, but it goes by Uyghur back down the ice. Wide. Just.
Mackenzie Uyghur thought that was icing.
Put the head. Quinn couldn't knock it down. There's Niederreiter back on it. Nino Niederreiter.
Stay on him. Don't back out. You should.
Delayed offside indicated against Canada. Here's Niederreiter, backhands that wide, the other side, goes to Ambuel. Ambuel plays it back around, here's Uyghur with it. Chips that ahead, Fora jumps up, chopped out by Krause. Pass to Siegenthaler. Through the middle, Niederreiter. He'll swing back. Plays it back in deep. Lawton goes hunting for it on Fora. Siegenthaler can't squeeze that by Quinn. Back in the corner, Jack Quinn picks it up. Uyghur steps up, kept it alive on Haas. Here's Uyghur. Throws it back in front. Lawton with a chance. Hit the pile up in front. As Siegenthaler was tangled up there with Lucic. Now you got 50 seconds to go. And Canada will almost certainly use its timeout here.
Now you use your timeout as still 3-2.
Canada arguing the clock continued to run there after the whistle.
Well, they'll get it right. They'll take a look and make sure they sync it up properly.
Canada does call timeout.
As you see, Carcone, the most recent goal scorer to get Canada within one. Canada needs this break. Their guys are tired. The offensive players have been playing a lot here in the last 10 minutes. Alex Tanguay on the board. They have Lawton on his strong side to take the face-off.
There's Tommy Albaline on the Swiss bench. He's an assistant coach for the Swiss at the World Championship and the World Junior only.
Just when it matters.
Yeah, lives in New Jersey.
And I'm all for four. I want to get Brad Hunt out there because he's so good at getting shots through. If you had Hunt and Uyghur, they're like forwards anyways. But they're going to go with Uyghur and 5 forwards. Big face-off for Scott Lawton.
Well, against Haas, the righty. They've reset the clock to 50.7 seconds. Face-off, one back to Foley. Stick broke, though. Uyghur plays the puck in to Foley. Races back for a new stick. Swiss send it down. Uyghur back to pick up the rolling puck. Brings it back around. Carcone lost it. Now moved ahead by Quinn. Jack Quinn, rink wide for Lawton. Scott Lawton moves in. Brings it back around. Carcone steps up. Plays it back in the corner. Lawton trying to wheel that around. Richard for Siegenthaler. Spins back the other way. And at the line, held by Carcone as time winds down here in the period. Carcone moves in. Poke check by Richard. Lawton back across to Quinn. Slaps it down that just missed the net. Carcone on it. Sticks everywhere in the offensive zone.
Got to get some bodies in the pile. It can't be 3-on-2 Switzerland in there.
And the Swiss just scrub it down. And they'll win it 3-2. Switzerland goes to 5-0. Canada now 4-1. And the Swiss have won 4 of the last 5 meetings with Canada at the World Championship. Next up for Switzerland, Czechia tomorrow. Canada has Norway on Monday.
Predictably tight game, as they always are between these two teams. Not much to choose between them. They're more opportunistic for Switzerland. Giannoni was up to the challenge late. That just makes it impossible for Canada to finish first in the group.
And these Swiss fans will have a battle of the bands tomorrow with Czechia. Now you can't get all these fans and all the Czech fans in.
They're going to try.
So we'll get the player of the game presentations and then the Swiss national anthem.
Ryan Swan, Ambassador of Canada to Latvia, and Martin Michelin, Ambassador of Switzerland to Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia.
Two ambassadors to present the Player of the Game awards.
The best player of Team Canada. Number 73, number 73, Tyler Toffoli.
The captain, Tyler Toffoli, the Scarborough native, is Canada's Player of the Game.
His best game, he was around it, especially the first two periods. Lots of shots, had the one power play goal. Still a little red face from the long shift to end the game.
The best player of Team Switzerland. Number 59, number 59, Dario Simeon.
Dario Simeon, who will celebrate a birthday next week, is Switzerland's Player of the Game.
You know what he wants for his birthday present? Gold medal game.
What Switzerland has been hungering for a long time. Some close calls in recent years, 2 gold medal losses in the last decade. And now the Swiss anthem, known as the Swiss song.
Yeah, I think we just got to slow them down and get pucks behind them. You know, I think they did a better job of playing their game tonight. Yeah, this one hurts, but hopefully we can regroup and come back stronger.
Is this a little bit of something that you think a team needs to experience in order to be successful heading into the knockout rounds?
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Is this something you think a team needs to experience heading into the knockout rounds?
Yeah, honestly, I think it helps. Builds character in the room. You know, we're going to learn from our mistakes and come back.
How much should these fans make this game difficult on you guys?
Yeah, you know what, it's a cool experience. It definitely makes it harder. You know, it's playing a road game, so, but no, definitely pretty cool.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Nico, Switzerland's beat Canada in 4 of the last 5 meetings. What has made your team so successful against them?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just play our game. We're confident in our group. We're a fast team. We battle hard, and I think it's not easy to play against us. So tonight, again, feel a really good game overall, and we're able to just score a goal, one more goal more. So good stuff.
Seems like you're settling in nicely. An assist in your first game and a goal today. Are you feeling comfortable with the group?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I know these guys from before, and we have such a good locker room. I always enjoy coming here and play with the cross on the chest and play for Switzerland. So it's always a fun tournament.
Seems like this year might be a very good year for you guys to take a run at that gold medal. How much do fans like this help you guys make your way?
Oh, they're great. I mean, felt like a home game here in Riga. So they travel everywhere, and it's just fun to see them here and play in front of them.
And then it's German?
Ja. The same question? Ja, ich meine, das Gefühl, schweres Heimspiel hier. Wenn man umschaut, alles rot, und die kommen, wo immer die WM ist, unterstützend ist. Und ja, es macht die Spieler frei, es gibt Motivation, und wir spielen natürlich auch für sie. Gut.
Way past the basics. Let's go for a massive celebration. Welcome to the winner's circle. We gon' win it here. 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 Winner's circle. Made moves, same dudes, change views. All over one day view. I done trained fools of brave youths, raised them to fame too. Still remain true to the game roots. Take thank you.
Marty.
But not quitting when the haters laugh and lay traps.